What is up, guys? It is AJ from MMA Experts, and this is the UFC Vegas 12 full card post weigh-in predictions as well as the betting odds. So let's get into the first fight of the night. Kevin Natividad takes on Miles Johns. Both came in on weight. Both came in looking really good on the scales. Natividad still the underdog, sitting at a plus 140. As far as Miles Johns, he is the favorite at a minus 145. Now, as far as the best sites to go on to bet on Natividad, go over to 5 Dimes. He's the plus 140 there. For Miles Johns, he's a minus 145 over at Bet Online. I still think we're going to see a competitive fight. Without a doubt, it's going to go the 3 rounds, I really feel. But I think Miles Johns is just a bit too much for Kevin Natividad making his UFC debut. Johns 2-1 in the UFC, just 1 loss as a pro, as well as Natividad just has 1 loss. Very competitive matchup and really compelling one, but I think the explosiveness, the power, and the wrestling background of Miles Johns would just be a bit too much for Kevin Natividad there, and that's why I'm riding with him, and I think he wins this fight by decision here. Not a big fan of doing a decision by a prop bet, but I can quickly check out what it will be just to let you guys know. Just for the fight to go to the distance, it's a minus 165 over at Bet Online, but if you bet Miles Johns to win by a decision, which I think good chance that it happens, Johns is a plus 125 over at 5 Dimes as well as over at Sportsbet for that prediction right there, for the decision victory prop bet for Miles Johns. Should be a fun fight. I'm excited for it, and I'm riding with Miles Johns. Now, next fight, Dustin Jacoby versus Justin Ladette. I think this is going to be a really entertaining striking battle. Jacoby, I mean, this guy fought in Glory. This guy is a very high-level kickboxer, makes his UFC return against Justin Ladette, who's a really good striker too in MMA, entertaining, good boxing skills, but there's levels to striking, and I think Dustin Jacoby would be too much, and I feel like his grappling defense is good enough to beat Justin Ladette, and I think he probably gets a decision or a late stoppage over Justin Ladette here. The betting odds, though, they're very widespread. Dustin Jacoby at a minus 333 favorite. That's over at Bet365, the best place to throw money down on him. For Justin Ladette, he is a plus 320 dog over at 5 Dimes. If I'm going to put a prop bet on here, honestly, I don't like a prop bet here because I think it could end at any time, especially with these 2 big light heavyweights. So I am going to look at a Jacoby TKO. It's going to be a plus 135 on numerous sites, on 5 Dimes as well as on Sportsbet. I think that's probably the guy that's going to win the fight. I find it hard to see Ladette beating the high-level kickboxer. Now, I'll also quickly pull up Ladette winning a decision, or rather, Jacoby winning a decision. It is a plus 100, or rather plus 200 over at Bet365. I mean, there is some money to be made if you're able to predict the outcome and the method. Potentially could be correct on that. If you guys are interested, check out those websites I listed. Now, moving up, Cole Williams seriously missed weight on the scale. This is a serious issue. He's missed weight in both of his UFC fights. I believe he missed weight by about 4.5 pounds here. He came in at 175.5 at a contracted 171 maximum weight, welterweight bout against Jason Witt, who made weight at 170.5. Not a good look, and I think Jason Witt is going to beat him. I think he wins probably a decision or a late TKO. I think it's going to be fairly one-sided. Cole Williams coming in not in the best shape. I mean, he's not shredded missing the weight. He's got a gut. He really needs to step up his dieting, and I don't think the UFC keeps him around, especially after a loss here. I mean, excuse me, he's a good fighter. I mean, he's been around for a while, but unprofessional of him. He misses weight, and I think Jason Witt definitely gets it done. Witt, fairly strong favorite, not anything crazy, is a minus 145 over at 5 Dimes, and Cole Williams is a plus 135 over at 5 Dimes as well. Prop bet there, I'm going to be honest, I don't like too much for either one of them, so I'm not going to go into it. But also Jason Witt at Sportsbook is a minus 145. So if you're looking to put money down on Jason Witt, you got a couple options there. Now, moving up, Jack Marshman, who also missed weight, takes on Sean Strickland. He missed weight not by a significant amount. He came in at 178.5 for his fight at 185. So he did miss the mark by 1.5 pounds of the 186 limit. But I don't think it's super substantial, not as bad as Cole Williams, but still, you're missing weight. That's never a good look. For Jack Marshman, he's a pretty strong dog still. He's sitting at a plus 320. Sean Strickland is a minus 345 over at William H. Sportsbook for the 320 on Jack Marshman. That is over at 5 Dimes. Another one that I'm not really feeling a prop bet, but I do think we're going to see Sean Strickland outpoint him on the feet over the course of 3 rounds. I don't know about a knockout. I think that Jack Marshman's a pretty durable guy. I mean, granted, if Strickland gets him to the ground, we could potentially see a submission. Jack Marshman, not the greatest grappler. Granted, he's not terrible, but it's going to be one-sided, and Sean Strickland should outpoint him for 3 rounds on the feet. Now, moving up, this is a fight that I'm super pumped for. Adrian Yanez UFC debut is super impressive on the Contender Series. He takes on Victor Rodriguez. Both these guys, no weight issues. Yanez comes in at 135.5. Rodriguez actually came in at 133, so he's definitely a bit lighter. For this fight, the betting odds are minus 400 for Yanez. Ooh, that's widespread. For Victor Rodriguez is a plus 405. I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't throw money down on this fight unless you're looking for a prop bet and are willing to take the risk of that prop bet, because prop bets are risky. If I'm going to do it, my prediction is going to be Yanez by knockout. I'm not going to give an exact round. I do think it potentially second round, but I don't think I'm going to put money down on that exactly. Now, Yanez to win by a TKO is not going to really deliver you that much money. He's a minus 139. That's the best option. That's over at Intertops. I don't really like putting down still, $175 or excuse me, $139 to just make 100 on a risky prop bet. Prop bets are always risky. He could win by submission, he could win by decision, and then you make nothing. I don't know. Prop bet's not my favorite, but if you do want to put money down, there are options there. You guys can also check out the Best Fight Odds website. I'll definitely leave it in the description for you guys. Now, moving up, Alexander Hernandez, Chris Grutzmacher. I think this is going to be a barn burner of a fight. I think it's going to be 3 rounds of absolute entertainment, and I think Alexander Hernandez slightly will outpoint him. No scale issues, I believe, for either of them. Both 155.5. That's good to see. Very professional of them. If I'm going to throw money down, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm probably not. I'm not. I like smart money would go towards Chris Grutzmacher with an upset. But realistically speaking, Alexander Hernandez is a really tricky guy to deal with. He's very fast and athletic and young. And Chris Grutzmacher is a guy that needs to be in close to do his best work. I don't think that he wins this fight. I think Hernandez wins the decision here, but just to check out the odds, Hernandez is a minus 400, Grutzmacher at a plus 365. Those are very widespread. If you want to put money down on Grutzmacher, 5 dimes has him as that plus 365. As far as prop bets go, personally, I would skip it. I don't like the idea of it. If you want to put money down on a Chris Grutzmacher knockout, I will just pull up the prop bet for you guys just so you can hear what the number would be. But I really don't like the idea of that. I really don't. All right, as far as this fight here, Grutzmacher to win by TKO is a plus 925. I mean, if you want to put a little bit down, you could probably make $925 if he was able to do it. But the likelihood, not all that significant. Alexander Hernandez, yes, he was stopped in his last fight, but that was against Drew Dober, who's a pretty massive puncher and a lot more athletic than Chris Grutzmacher. Now, moving up, Bobby Green takes on Thiago Moyes. Very exciting fight. Green, pretty strong favorite. He's sitting at a minus 288 over at Bet Online. Thiago Moyes is a plus 265. Now, neither of them had scale issues. This is also the first fight on the main card. 156 Moyes, 155 for Green. I think this is Green's fight. I've said this before. I think he's going to be just a bit too much. He's got too much diverse skill set. Now, Michael Johnson, a very skilled fighter, lost to Thiago Moyes by submission in the second round in Moyes' last fight. Here's the difference between Bobby Green and Michael Johnson. The grappling skills and the submission defense. Bobby Green is not an easy guy to submit. He trains alongside the Diaz brothers. He's trained with a lot of the very elite level grapplers. And that's why, to me, Bobby Green is going to secure victory here. And he's going to win this fight by a unanimous decision. Now, if I'm going to put money down, it's going to be tricky to do a prop bet here. Now, I'm going to give you one prop bet if you like Moyes by upset. I'm going to give the prop bet of Thiago Moyes by a submission. He's not going to knock Bobby Green out. I'd almost be certain of that. He's a plus 1,200 if he were to knock out Bobby Green. That's pretty widespread. Moyes by a submission, though, it's a plus 600 over at William H. So if you really want to throw money down, you're eager to place a bet, I'm not telling you to go do this because personally I think Bobby Green wins. That's the pick, the Moyes submission prop bet. Or you just bet on Moyes overall, cross your fingers and hope for the best. Because the likelihood of him beating Bobby Green, I don't see as substantial here. And I like Thiago Moyes. He's pretty good. But Bobby Green's another level. Moving up to the next fight, heavyweight battle. Greg Hardy nearly misses weight. He came in a little bit heavy, 266.5 rather, and then comes in at 264.5. So he made that championship weight with the extra hour. Maurice Green, obviously no issues on the scale. He came in at 250 pounds. So difference of size, 15 pounds. Maurice Green's taller. I really believe that we're going to see a win for Greg Hardy here. I think stylistically he matches up pretty well, but I will say if they go to the ground, Maurice Green has decent jiu-jitsu and Greg Hardy is unproven in his jiu-jitsu. And that's why for me, I'm still riding with Greg Hardy, who's a strong favorite, minus 295. Maurice Green at a plus 265, or rather 267. If you're looking to put money down on Greg Hardy, 5 dimes. Maurice Green, head over to Bet DSI. I don't know. I'm going to look at a prop bet for you guys. I'm going to look at the knockout prop bet of Hardy and a submission prop bet of Maurice Green. I think it's a lot less likely that Green were to knock Hardy out. But I think there's a chance Hardy gets the knockout win here. I really do. Hardy to win by knockout, minus 125 on sports bet and 5 dimes. To me, I don't like it, man. It's not that good of odds to justify putting yourself at a risk when Greg Hardy is a guy that goes the distance a lot. For Maurice Green to win by a submission, he's a plus 9. Wow, this is a plus 900s for Maurice Green over at William H. I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you want to throw money down and take a serious risk, I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's a risk. It's going to be a risk betting on Maurice Green because I don't think he beats Hardy. But if you got a submission here, plus 900, hey, if you got money to lose, put it down. But again, not advising you go do this because I don't think the likelihood is high, but there is a potential outcome of that. I could see it when you look at them stylistically, but still think Greg Hardy could win a decision. I also think he could get a late TKO in this matchup. Or maybe one-punch knockout. I mean, they're heavyweight, so you never really know. As far as the next fight, Charlie Ontiveros, short notice replacement, takes on Kevin Holland. I'm going to be honest, this is one-sided. I know that, I'm going to promise you guys Kevin Holland is going to win this fight. He's 185.5. Charlie Ontiveros, 182.5. If Ontiveros did pull off an upset, that would be crazy. But I really don't see it happening. Ontiveros is a plus 550 dog, though. Bet365 has him at that, as well as Bet Online. Kevin Holland is a minus 670 favorite. Very substantial. If I'm going to throw a Holland bet down, I want to bet on Kevin Holland, and I want him to win. For a Holland win inside the distance, minus 265. I mean, it's expected to be quick. I think they're expecting a one-sided beating. And I think they're kind of right to do so. If you've looked back, I don't know if any of you guys have seen Charlie Ontiveros fight in the past. It's not that he's a bad fighter. I mean, he's decent, but this is UFC. This is Kevin Holland, a top 25 middleweight in the world. Kevin Holland's going to have his way with him fairly easily, I feel like, here. Next fight, Andre Fili versus Bryce Mitchell. This is a near pick'ems fight. Bryce Mitchell is a minus 125 favorite. Andre Fili a plus 115. Mark my words, we're going to see Andre Fili lose against Bryce Mitchell. Bryce is a nasty grappler, as well as on Bovada, plus 115 for Fili, and 5 dimes for Fili at a plus 115, and Sportsbook has him at a plus 115. There are options as far as Bryce Mitchell, minus 125 over at 5 dimes. I do want to pull something up, and that is the prop bet of a Bryce Mitchell submission. The only one I'm interested in talking about. I don't care about the other ones, to be honest with you guys. A Bryce Mitchell submission prop bet. There is a likelihood he taps out Andre Fili. It's a plus 260. That's over at 5 dimes and sports bet. To me, that's the one. If you're doing prop bets, I like that one. I do. As far as this fight goes, I think that this is Bryce Mitchell's fight. Yes, Team Alpha Male member Andre Fili is difficult to fight. He gives a lot of guys problems, but I think Bryce Mitchell is a different breed of grappler. I think his submission skills are excellent, and I think he has a high likelihood of tapping out Andre Fili here. But if not, I do see Bryce Mitchell winning a decision. So if you're going to throw money down, I would throw money down maybe on Bryce Mitchell, even at that minus 125. Not terrible, because I do think he gets it done. Main event of the evening time. I'm going to be honest. This is huge. This is Anderson Silva versus Uriah Hall. The last time we'll see Anderson Silva in the octagon, supposedly, he'll probably end up fighting again in or out of the UFC. He maybe will head over to Bellator. Silva's plus 184, or rather plus 184. Silva is 184 pounds. Uriah Hall is 186 pounds. I'm a little bit too in the betting odds zone. Anderson Silva, though, he's a plus 195 dog in this fight. Uriah Hall, minus 215 favorite. To bet on Silva, best places to do so is Bet Online, as well as 5 dimes for Uriah Hall. Best place to do it is 5 dimes. Okay, this fight is really tough to pick. Yes, I picked Anderson Silva, and I'm still riding with Anderson Silva. It is not an easy fight to pick because Anderson Silva's 45. He's an older guy now. He's not the same Anderson Silva from back in the day. Back in the day, this is easy. We know who's going to win. But now, this is a new Anderson Silva, or rather an old Anderson, aging Anderson Silva. This is Uriah Hall looking jacked. Uriah Hall looks excellent. Still, I'm going to ride with Silva. I do think he gets potential stoppage or maybe even a decision. Uriah Hall's not going to go down easy, though. And you look at Uriah Hall at weigh-ins, he looks shredded out and in some of the best shape I've ever seen him in. But if you look back at that weigh-ins, I want you to go look at the eyes of Uriah Hall. People can say, oh, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Look at the way Uriah Hall looked at Anderson Silva. It is almost like looking up to him like, wow. He's going to be, I'm telling you, Uriah Hall's going to be a bit starstruck in there. Anderson Silva is a guy that people compared Uriah Hall to and said, oh, maybe he's the next Anderson Silva. And you know Uriah Hall is thinking of these comparisons and also thinking of Anderson Silva, a guy he's watched forever, a guy that was the man while he was coming up, probably aspired to be like Anderson. Now you're across the octagon from him. And Uriah Hall has had issues in the past with performances. He's not shown up. I'm telling you guys, I saw something, and I could be totally wrong. And Uriah Hall could go spinning back kick first round knockout. But I think Anderson Silva is going to beat Uriah Hall, guys. I really do. I see it. I'm willing to be proven wrong on this. If I am, it is what it is. I'm picking Anderson Silva. I'm sticking with him. I think late stoppage is possible, maybe after the third round, or we could see potentially a decision win for Anderson. I think Uriah Hall is going to get a little flustered in there, man. Fighting Anderson Silva is a different experience. You even saw his Gerard Asanya. I mean, he went 3 rounds with Anderson. It's that different respect. You give Anderson too much respect, he can still knock you out. Doesn't matter how much you look up to him, how much you love him. Anderson Silva will lay you out. He's a fighter. He's a goofy guy. He seems like a sweet guy. But at the end of the day, he's going to go in there to knock out Uriah Hall. And potentially we might see it. I'm super pumped for this matchup. If I'm going to do a prop bet, honestly, personally, sitting out, I don't even want to bet on this main event, to be 100% honest with you guys. It's just I always want to enjoy Anderson Silva fighting, but if you guys want to do it, hey, go for it. But I will give a prop bet, and the prop bet that I like is a Hall TKO or a Silva TKO. For Silva TKO, it's a plus 629 at 5 dimes at Sportsbet. For a Hall by TKO, plus 168 on those same websites. For me, I don't know, man. It's hard to pick any other way but knockout or decision. But let's not forget, Anderson Silva's pretty good with his jiu-jitsu. So let's quickly look up Anderson Silva to win by submission. Very unlikely. Extremely unlikely. I know it. But let's just check it out. Plus 1,600 for Anderson Silva to win by submission over at BetOnline. If you were to tap Uriah Hall, that would be pretty insane. I do want to also look up a Silva decision here. Okay. Let's see. Hall wins by decision. Silva wins. What is this? Silva wins by decision. Plus 405 for Silva by decision over on Sports Int. Maybe. I'm not doing a prop bet. I'm just enjoying this main event. To be honest with you guys, like I'm just trying to enjoy this main event, see a great fight. Whatever happens, happens. This whole card, I'm super pumped for. I can't wait to watch these fights. I'm super hype on my guy Bryce Mitchell. I think he's going to look excellent. Anderson Silva, Uriah Hall. I mean, be honest with you guys, I've been a big fan of both these guys. I've always liked Uriah Hall. I think he's a great dude. Anderson Silva's, was the guy when I first started getting into this, MMA. He was the champion back in the, 2008, 2007, early days of the UFC, before it was cool to be a UFC fan. For me, I'm still riding with Silva, but, there's a chance Hall gets it done. And I just want to enjoy that fight. I can't wait for it, but we're still riding with Silva. Don't think that I'm picking Uriah Hall, not switching. I'm telling you, the way he looked at him was like looking at a role model, looking at a hero. It's going to be difficult for Uriah Hall to knock him out, especially because, as I mentioned, he's had issues in the past with performances. But all right, guys, that is pretty much it for this post-weigh-in full card predictions, as well as the betting odds and a couple of bets to make. You guys definitely could. Maybe make some money for you guys. But all right, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Also, guys, follow my social media, Instagram, Twitter, and I'll see you all in the next video.